Hi friends, this is Naini Nakagawa from MatchMySpirit.com. A big warm welcome to you. MatchMySpirit.com is a dating website for spiritual singles. It is also a holistic networking website, and I really want you to have an enjoyable and fun experience while dating, and at the same time enjoy the peace of dating. It doesn't have to have tension, it doesn't have to have stress. So I've come up with these wonderful 7 tips of peaceful dating. These are tried and tested. It's not just something I just made up. They're tried and tested, and I have tried and tested them and attracted my soulmate using these tips. I have clients who've done it. So check them out. Let me start with tip number 1. Tip number 1 is remove toxic people out of your life. Now, what do we mean by toxic? Toxic people are anyone who is a downer, who is very negative with you. You say something and they're ready to negate you. And I'm sure all of us have somebody like that in our life. Keep them away. Anyone who doesn't believe in you, you have your beliefs, and you have your life, and they don't believe in what you're doing, keep them away. Anyone who's angry, that's a big one. Many people are angry, they have childhood issues, which is understandable, but they project their anger on you. Keep them away. If it's a family member, and you have to deal with this person, so you deal with the person, take care of their needs, and then back off, and don't keep them in your energy field on a regular basis. This is something that I always advise. A good way would be to pray for them. If you want to spiritualize that relationship, pray for them, and you'll do them a favor and you'll do yourself a favor. Remember, environment. A great saint once said, environment is stronger than willpower. So keep a good environment. Keep a positive environment. Remember, the law of the universe is that either we go forward or we go backward. Either we progress or we regress. We can never stand stationary or stagnant. So remember, tip number 1, keep toxic people out of your life. Now let's talk about tip number 2 for our peaceful dating tips. Tip number 2 is, whatever is your spiritual path that you have, give it priority number 1. Very often when we are in a relationship or when we are dating, we forget about our spiritual path. So whatever it is, whether you meditate or you go to the church or you go to the mosque, give it priority number 1. People don't realize this, but this is the fact. We gain some amazing qualities out of being on a firm foundation of a spiritual path. And I'll tell you a few of them. First is that we gain confidence. Confidence is an amazing thing. You have a foundation. It's something that you believe in. This gives you confidence. And I'll tell you something about confidence. It's a little naughty. Confidence is a very sexy quality, right? And that never hurt anyone. That quality never hurt anyone. So be firm on your spiritual path. The other thing, being firm on your spiritual path gives you security. No amount of education or money or experience or travels around the world will give you that level of security that being on a firm spiritual path gives you. Then I think the third thing very important is that you stay in a good environment, in a good spiritual environment. If you have a good spiritual practice, you meet spiritual people and then you grow with them. For example, if you meditate with someone or in a group, that helps your own progress because it's group effort. And the fourth thing is that people trust you more when you have a firm spiritual path, especially a spiritual partner. There's this trust that comes that, okay, this person has a foundation, this person is grounded, and who doesn't want someone that they can trust? So give your spiritual path full priority, top priority, and you will see what magic that brings in you and in your life. Tip number 3 is a very interesting one. Get a life and serve. Now, why do we mention this here? Because very often when we are dating or we're in the process of looking for someone, we completely forget about our family and friends. We give this one partner all our attention and we put all our energies into that. That's not a good idea because that is imbalance, unfortunately. So I always say that don't put your energies into one person. And a good way to balance that out is at your place of service, make a difference and volunteer there. Take your expertise and go to your place of service and do some kind of volunteer work. Go to any other place, a children's hospital or any other place that's around you, elderly home, and make a difference and serve. This way you keep yourself balanced and you get out of yourself and don't focus on just one thing. There's another thing that I love to do, and I always talk about it. It is serve in your every interaction throughout the day. It's a beautiful thing to do. I do that here in New York. Remember, these tips are all tried and tested, so I've done all of them, and I do them regularly. My husband and I, we make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and throughout the day, we're on the subway or just walking on the street, if we feel anyone needs them, either a homeless person or even an elderly person, we just give out these peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with a lot of love. I love this saying by Maya Angelou. She said that people will forget what you said to them. People will forget what you did to them, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Isn't that beautiful? And another great man said, which is something that I always remember, he said, a life is worthwhile only if it is lived for others. And believe it or not, Albert Einstein said that, the great scientist. So get out of yourself, go out there and do something for others, make a difference, and it'll make you happy and it will spread a lot of joy. It'll create this aura around you of love and trust, which will attract the right partner for you. So tip number 3, get a life and serve. Now let's talk about tip number 4. Tip number 4 is diet and exercise. Now, why would we want to talk about diet and exercise in peaceful dating? What is the relation? I'll tell you. Well, first of all, there are 2 points. If you have a good diet and a good exercise routine, you look good, which is fantastic. Looking good ain't hurting anyone, right? The second one, which is more important, is that if you're exercising regularly and if you're having a good, healthy diet, your mind is alert and you remain grounded. This is very important. A lot of people don't think about this. But it keeps your mind alert, and if your mind is alert, guess what? It will help you in making better choices. And, very often people are very impulsive in relationships, or they act out of extreme emotion. That's a big one. So if you're grounded and if your mind is alert, you'll most likely not make decisions from that from that emotional point. Now, how to do this? I have this very simple way, very simple. I like to keep everything simple. If you have a great exercise program, superb, you rock, awesome. If you don't, then just use the Kaizen method. I love using the Kaizen method. Kaizen is a Japanese word. It means slow and steady and regular progress. And it's simple. You start really small and then you grow. Really small. For example, you can just stand in front of your television every day and watch television and march for 10 minutes every single day, and then slowly grow from there. And where diet is concerned, it is a no-brainer. We all know this, we've all read about it, that having more fruits and vegetables in your diet is the best thing you can do. Good 60% of your diet should be fruits and vegetables. Less of gluten, less of fat, less of carbs, and fruits and vegetables and proteins as much as possible. A saint once said that human beings are basically fruitarian in nature. Think about it. Another saint talked about the vibrations of different foods, and I'll share a few with you. Cherries bring out the vibration of joy. Strawberries bring us the vibration of attunement to dignity. Bananas bring out the vibration of humility, which is very interesting, because I remember growing up in India and going to temples, and the offering of fruits was mostly bananas. Milk and eggs bring out the vibration of energy and enthusiasm. Spinach brings out the vibration of simplicity. Isn't that cool? So again, use the Kaizen method, one step at a time. Include one healthy food in your diet every day, and then take it from there. So I hope you enjoy this tip number 4, exercise and diet, and try to use this in your system, and you'll see the difference.